Forgive me, my prince. It's me, Wade. You probably don't remember me.
I remember. What is it?
The game just started. When did these characters meet? Oh, okay. Although the time lore system is nice, I just feel it kind of lessens what the viewer gets to experience in cinematics. Instead of seeing two characters meeting in a cinematic, we now need to quickly read up and find it in a character biography in case they're updated with more info later. I know this line that Wayne mentions is minor in the story, but I'm worried more plot-related or big events will simply get mentioned in passing, and we as viewers only get to read up about it, rather than experience some flashback cinematic of a war or a death on screen. Not only that, how often are they expecting us to pause and read up on events? This demo alone was heavy on the cinematic lengths. Now combine that if we need to pause and read up on each event and every character, just to be sure we don't miss something that is mentioned in passing later on, like how Wayne here mentioned he's met Josh before. Another annoyance I had with this was Square Enix always wanting to make a jump button now when it's not needed. In fights it makes sense to attack in the air, but look at this, even with the cliff's edge, it just automatically climbs for me. Here I am going back down just to confirm my fear. The jump button is almost useless outside of fights, especially when jump required events occur. It just automatically jumps for you, there's no need to click a button. Games like Kingdom Hearts did it right, where Sora actually gets some height and there's platforming involved to get to chests, secrets, or even glide to another platform, but games that did the same thing here would be like Dragon's Quest XI, where the hero would jump a set distance and set height, but get no real usage out of the button at all for the entire game. From this scene, I knew platforming wasn't going to be a thing in this game, even with the jump button. All these platforms cracks start appearing, but all we need to do is just run straight past them, and the game will automatically jump for us when we get to a climbable edge. It just seems like they gave you the button for no real purpose. Especially when you're Teen Clive. Look at this jump. Do you think you're going to do any actual platforming with this height and this distance? Why give us the action outside of fights at all? It's completely worthless. A window like this you'd think you can jump through, but no, you have to walk around. My next annoyance, and this one may not mean much to some, but it's just how long opening a path takes. It's 2023 and I feel we should be past this trope that holding a button for basic interactions is a thing. I'm playing a PS5 game, yet I'm holding a button to open doors like it's a PS2 God of War game. You'll see I'm even attacking some of these walls thinking I can just break them down like a normal game, but no, I have to stop, click X to interact with it, and then hold the button to start opening it. The animation here sometimes takes 3 to 6 seconds too, which doesn't seem like much, but the question is why? Combined with the fact that sometimes it's back-to-back doors opening small rooms. This gate during the second demo in particular may have been the longest animation in the whole demo. Instead of just attacking it to blow it away, I'm now forced to watch two guys, who have magical powers by the way, try to lift it for 30 seconds while I sit there and press and hold one button 3 separate times until they finally get all the way up. So my question is, why do I need to do this? It's 2023, is this just to experience the haptic controller or something? The weirdest part about this is that it's not required before the boss room. Opening the final door was just a simple click of a button and I'm in, no warning or anything. A lot of doors should just be replaced with these, just so that we can get back to actually playing the game instead of watching him open doors. Now before I move on, just want to take a break from the negativity and annoyances and point out that my favorite part of this demo was definitely the Dragoon Fight. From the moment he appears on top of the castle and the music coming in, I knew it was going to be a good time.
May I have this dance? He's an Imperial Dragoon.
One thing that is becoming more frequent in the industry is just how easy games are becoming. Even QuickTime events that are supposed to be quick are becoming so tame that you can't lose them. Instead of being a reactionary moment, it instead is becoming just a chance to make the player look cool by performing some big flashy cinematic attack or dodge. These events in this game provide you with so much time, which is about 4 seconds by the way, including the flash and pause of the screen, you can't miss. It even doesn't allow you to make a mistake and accidentally input a different button. Nothing happens if you press a different button. The only way you can mess these up is if you let the timer run out completely. Finally, there's the icon fights. Since the original trailers, I feared these fights would be fake and easy. I guessed that these fights would be a lot like PS2 God of War post-boss cinematics, where you pound on the enemy for a bit until the game calls for a cinematic to start, and then you repeat the process until they're dead. This Phoenix vs. Efreet fight was exactly that. Notice how we're doing almost no damage to him until Josh says his few lines. Then all of a sudden a cinematic starts up and Efreet loses like a quarter of his health. We rinse and repeat this until he's dead, or at least until the final cinematic occurs and then the results show up. This fight alone is about 5.5 minutes long and is more or less a rail shooter, with chunks of that time just being up-close cinematics as Efreet attacks Phoenix as they change locations in the background. I didn't find these kind of fights fun just because I'm sitting here holding down one button and waiting for the big enemy to flash a different color so I can press another button to evade. There's no sense of risk or skill here, I feel. I know there will be other fights where we play as Efreet, but from the trailers it's looking a lot like the same. A lot of big flashy moves to wow the player in cinematics until we dwindle the boss down to nothing. So that's about all the big annoyances and flags I noticed while playing the demo. Chance of these things being fixed on release or in a patch are small, as they're part of the industry nowadays. Just want to end this by saying, even though I pointed out these annoyances, I don't hate the game. I still enjoyed the demo from start to finish and intend to play the full version someday. Until then, let me know if you noticed any annoyances I overlooked, or tell me in the comments if anything's changed if you're playing the full version too.